Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. This is Wayne Bennett from ECRM and RangeMe, and excited to have another fireside chat. Today, we're going to have a fantastic conversation on the impact of wellness and personal care. And with us today is no one better than Cheryl Loeding, who is the Divisional Merchandise Manager of Personal Care at Walgreens. We're going to have a discussion about the impact of personal care on healthcare. So, Cheryl, welcome. Glad you could be here with us.
Thank you for having me, Wayne. I'm delighted to speak with you this afternoon.
That's great. So, Cheryl, before we get into it, because I know there's a lot on this topic, tell us a little bit about your role at Walgreens, what you do, and a little bit about what makes you the right person to manage personal care at Walgreens.
Absolutely. So
Okay.
I'd be happy to. As the DMM of personal care, my primary role is to develop and execute merchandising strategies to drive sales, profitability, and overall business success within the personal care division, which at Walgreens includes hair care, oral care, shave, deodorant, bath, and baby. And our purpose within the division is to create more joyful lives by providing everyone with the best personal care solutions that promote personal health and well-being.
Excellent.
Like, yeah.
Cheryl, that's great. And so, there's been a lot of movement in the merge of personal care and wellness. And I want to explore that a little further with you. So, how has the beauty industry evolved, in response to this wellness convergence? Maybe give us a little bit of a background, what you're seeing in terms of how this has all evolved.
Yeah, it's evolving quickly. I would say health and wellness expertise is the new job to be done in personal care. Customers understand that their everyday routines contribute to their overall sense of well-being and happiness. And we know that customers think that there are benefits beyond traditional hygiene within personal care that are important. And so there's a couple ways we see the industry evolving. There's three I'd like to point out. I'd say the
Please.
first is clean beauty. So we've all seen a notable shift towards clean and natural beauty products, transparency in ingredient sourcing, production methods, and product efficacy has also become a key selling point for consumers. I'd say the second way is really in this more holistic approach. So the beauty and the personal care industries are recognizing that wellness is not just about external appearance, but it's also about inner well-being. And so there's this more holistic approach, really incorporating self-care and mindfulness into routines. And we see that as brands develop and market their products to address both the physical well-being and the mental well-being.
Very
And then
interesting.
thirdly, I'd say the way that the industry is involved, and we're so happy to see it, is through inclusive beauty. So there's really a growing emphasis on beauty for all and inclusivity, with brands expanding their ranges to cater to a wide spectrum of skin tones, hair textures. We at Walgreens operate with a customer first mentality, and we want to make sure that our products reflect the communities that we're in. And so we are really happy that this inclusive beauty has really taken off.
That's really very helpful, Cheryl, and thank you for explaining the evolution. And in with that today, what are some of the key product trends or industry trends that you're seeing as part of this evolution?
I'd say some of the biggest trends are that consumers are just more conscious than ever, particularly about the ingredients that they're putting on their skin. We see that customers are seeking things out that are free from, whether it's harmful chemicals, parabens, sulfates, artificial fragrances. So it's back to that clean beauty that I was mentioning.
Mhm.
But it doesn't just stop about what's inside. It's also how the package is being pulled together, because we're seeing sustainability become a significant concern with customers. And we need brands to be considering eco-friendly packaging and reducing their waste. In personal care, that's really led to an uptick in bar soaps for plastic-free packaging, and even shampoo bars is another way that we've seen products really evolve and push boundaries there.
Hmm.
And I'd say
Hmm.
another trend is really this idea of ingredient as hero. Customers really want to know what's in their products. And so calling out the key ingredients that make the difference. I think of a notable launch within personal care this
Yep.
year was our hyaluronic acid shampoo launch for Elvive within L'Oreal. It's really been the skinification of a lot of other categories, seeing those hero ingredients come into play.
Hmm. Well, that's great, Cheryl. And that is sort of leads me to the next question is, are there specific ingredients, formulations, or technologies that have really evolved and are really shining through as this emergence, convergence happens within personal care and healthcare? What are you seeing in terms of ingredients or product formulations or manufacturing processes?
Yeah, so I mentioned hyaluronic acid. We're seeing that again, started in skincare a couple of years ago, has really exploded within personal care, particularly in hair care. Naturals continues to become more mainstream. I think it might have once been considered more of a tertiary entry point into the category, and we're seeing big brands, OGX, Raw Sugar, Love Beauty Planet, continue to grow.
Hmm.
Um, I'd say deodorant is actually having a moment right now when it comes to ingredient transparency, but also formats. So, aluminum free deodorant is growing, gaining popularity, but we're also seeing customers cocktailing, we call it, when it comes to their deodorant.
Oh, wow.
So, they're choosing the right format, whether it's a stick or a dry spray, which is newer to the category. And then they're coupling that with the protection level that they need for their day. So, is it an aluminum free deodorant? Is it a clinical strength deodorant? Is it just a standard antiperspirant? Customers are really basing their routines off of their needs, and they're finding products that meet those needs.
Very interesting. And lastly, Cheryl, just to ask, are you finding any of the convergence happening in oral care?
In oral care,
Yeah.
yes. So, oral health is directly linked to overall health, particularly as it relates to gum health. I think customers used to be really focused on cavities and protecting their teeth, but really what we like our customers and beauty consultants to really be educated about is gum health. So we
Yeah.
know that there are better products out there, particularly pastes
Yeah.
that have the right type of stannous fluoride, which is found in clinical paste. And that has antibacterial properties that can really have benefits beyond brushing. So, traditional sodium fluoride, you brush your teeth, you rinse, you go on with your day. The protection you get only lasts when you're brushing. If you upgrade to a clinical paste and have a more advanced fluoride, a stannous fluoride, you have that 24-hour protection, which allows that paste to keep working long after the brushing is through. And so that allows our customers to really take better care of their mouths.
Hmm.
We know that if you have a chronic condition, such as diabetes or perhaps a heart condition, you're more at risk for gum issues. So we really want our customers to be having a demonstrated routine with a clinical paste, floss, and a rinse so that they're really managing their everyday health. And we know that those habits can lead to much better health outcomes.
Yeah, it's again amazing, a great example, and really total category coverage around this whole health influence. So
Mhm.
the convergence of personal care and health. Um, so Cheryl, I'm interested to know. So Walgreens has got 9,000 stores. It's a leading retailer. So the question I have is, so what recommendations can you make for suppliers, emerging suppliers, bringing new innovation, meeting the needs of your customers first, working with you within your atmosphere, your environment, 9,000 stores. What are your suggestions to them to help them win shelf space?
Yeah, that's a great question, Wayne. So I'd say our first recommendation is keep growing. Very small brands that don't have yet broad distribution in market can be a really tough sell for a chain that has 9,000 stores like Walgreens. So it's really great if we can talk about potentially regional distribution and really think of it more as a crawl, walk, run, so that we are set up for success when we are reaching the heights of a full chain distribution. I'd also say, as it relates to innovation, innovation is great. It is the lifeblood of our business, but it needs to be customer centric and easy to understand. Um, Suppliers should think about being really simple in their approach of what they have to offer. New brands and new products need to cut through a lot of noise on shelf and in marketing to be successful and reach the customer. So we talk about ruthlessly prioritizing what it is that they do best so that it makes their product unique and it's clear that what white space is being filled in the market.
Sure, sure. I always like to talk to the suppliers about the concept of incrementality, right? Because if something comes in, something goes out, then what's the cost benefit of that? So that's an economic equation they have to think about as well.
Yeah, we
On
call it
top of
churn. We talk about it all the time as well.
yeah, so great. So Cheryl, you have access to a lot of innovation. Some of your larger suppliers obviously have access to it, to the tail of the emerging suppliers. But what do you see? Are there one or two areas of growth that we're not seeing yet, but's ready to break through in the personal care categories that you manage with the healthcare impact? What's next?
So I think the future belongs to brands that really leverage technology and social media. We call it the TikTok effect. It is real, and customers are hungry for this information, for these demonstrations, for this product knowledge.
Hmm.
We find that it really reflects a growing awareness of the interconnectedness of beauty, health, knowledge in today's consumer culture. And so I feel like brands that are able to really reach customers in a message that packages well and resonates on social media are going to see unprecedented growth.
Yep. So the social media advantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So Cheryl, this is a shameless plug for ECRM and RangeMe, but Walgreens has been a very important partner, a strategic partner, a collaborative partner to our enterprise for many, many, many years. And I'm curious to know, can you just share a little bit more about how your team leverages our platform to help you save time or become more productive in your process, whether it's line review or looking for new innovation? Are there one or two areas that you can share that are important to you and your team?
Yeah, absolutely, Wayne. So we utilize RangeMe and the ECRM team as we start planning for our resets each year, which of course our reset is our opportunity to touch the set and bring in new products. And the ECRM team helps us connect with emerging suppliers and new brands to make sure that we stay on top of what's new in the industry. As you said, we've been long partners and there's been excellent collaboration over the years.
Yeah, no, that's great, Cheryl. And our best partners make us better, and we always look to you guys for that edge and making sure that we're delivering relevance and value to your business every day. So we appreciate that partnership. Cheryl, before we leave, is there anything that we haven't talked about? Is there one last thing you just want to mention out to the audience that would be watching this? What do
Um,
they need to know?
what do they need to know?
Yeah, the one takeaway. What's the one takeaway they need to leave with today? We've talked a lot about a lot of good things, but what's the one thing you want them to think about when they reach out to you or your team?
Yeah, I want them to think about how customers know that they have agency over their health and good habits help them stay healthy. So as it relates to routines and products, we're seeing increased usage on functional categories like deodorant and body cleansing, as I mentioned, and even specialty categories. And so I would say, as they think about the future and as they think about presenting to us, the biggest transformation is that customers and people are just more intentional about their choices, whether it's adding a step or switching products that have multi-benefits or are more natural. So we need to stay up with those customers and recognize that they are more focused and intentional now than they've ever been before. And I think that that becomes a high watermark that we need to be really measuring our innovation against.
Yeah, Cheryl, that's really great closing remarks, and a good reminder to the suppliers or the audience that might be viewing this is to think about their customers first, right? And think about how you can help improve their health with a personal care regimen and bring the innovation. And don't think about selling all 9,000 stores, but the pockets of opportunity where you're going to win together.
Absolutely. Well said.
So Cheryl, I really do appreciate the time. Keep up the great work. You guys are killing it in the marketplace, and we'll look forward to the ongoing changes and opportunities, innovations you bring forward in the personal care space. So thank you for your time, and we look forward to connecting again soon.
Thanks, Wayne. Great speaking with you.
Okay.